What's up, YouTube? Welcome to 2025. Like, that's just crazy to even say that. And as I've been thinking about the new year, I've really been thinking about, man, how do I get ahead? How do I get planning and preparing for what is to come? Because I have several different hats that I wear. I am a husband, I'm a father, I'm a college pastor, I'm also a PA announcer for Texas A&M softball. And so I have schedules and plans and stuff to do, and it always seems like there's something else going on. My wife and I have been using Google Calendar for years. We have like 12 different calendars. They're shared in different ways, and we have a TV in our house where the calendar's always on display. Of course, we have smart devices, phones and tablets and computers and all that kind of stuff. But what I have discovered over the last few years, even though I'm not much for a paper planner, I like to be able to see a big picture all at once of the main things that are going on in my life. Big events, trips, stuff that's coming up, especially when it comes to like ministry and sports. And so a few years ago, I walked into a friend's office and I saw these calendar tiles hanging up on his wall. He had 12 of them up on the wall. They were all so beautiful and colorful and had all of the big things that he had going on that year. And immediately I was like, I need this in my life. And so I picked a wall in my office. I got 12 of these calendar tiles. I actually got them from Kmart.com, and I will put a link in the description where you can pick up some similar to this. And then I created a color code, and I have all of these different things on here. It has ministry stuff, it has sports stuff, it has trips, things that are going on. And so I thought, hey, I'll show you how I put it together. And all you need is a calendar, some colorful dry erase markers, and a plan. So let's do this. Okay, you can see here is the wall where I have the 12 of them laid out. The third one is missing because I have been working on March, and I am gonna show you that on video as I prepare it, but I pulled it off the wall. I just used some 3M Velcro strips so that I can easily pull them off the wall each year, clean them off, and then fix them and put them back on the wall. Super straightforward. And then I use two different kinds of markers. I use these XSG, they're 0.7 ultra fine. I use these for like drawing lines, which you'll see when I put spring break on my calendar. I also use these I don't know how to say it, YIHUI. I'll link all this stuff in the description below. These are 0.5, these are super fine, and this allows me to write. I don't have the best handwriting, but it allows me to write on it where I can clearly read it. Anything thicker than that, and it starts to take up an entire square, and it starts to get illegible, because you also have to remember, you are putting an entire month on one of those 12 by 12 tiles, so you don't have a ton of space. This is not for your detailed meetings. This is big picture stuff for me to be able to look at this wall when we're trying to plan an event, or we're trying to think about where something fits in, or how busy we already are when it comes to ministry or going on a trip, or when we're going to be in or out of town. Like, being able to see the entire year in one physical visual display is so helpful. But because of that, you need to make sure that you can actually tell what is on the board. And so I use these two. The XSG come in a 12 color pack, and they're like $7.50 on Amazon. And then these ultra fine also come, I believe, in 12, and they're less than $10 as well. So these have been really helpful, really great. And these are the two primary markers that I use for this entire project. Really, the only two other things that I use other than the markers and the whiteboard itself is this Expo board cleaner. You spray it on, use a paper towel, wipe off whatever has been on the board, so last year's dates and events or whatever. And then this 12 or 14-inch level, it is magnetic, so it sticks right on these boards, which is amazing. And I use it to draw lines. I am somewhat of a perfectionist, and so I like things to be clean and detailed, and so this allows me to draw a perfectly straight line every single time. And I use it if I'm going to be out of town, if I'm going on a trip, for spring break, holidays, things like that, where the office is closed. I'll use this to draw perfect lines every single time. And then I just have a color code, and I'll put it on the screen here what my code is for different events and different like sections of my life or for ministry, etc. You can come up with your own code because everybody is going to have something different on their calendar. But this is really helpful because when I look at the calendar, I immediately know, oh, it is red, which means that it's college ministry event specific. So it helps me be able to see what is going on. Brown means that it is a sporting event, whether that's softball, something I'm announcing, or it's a men's basketball game or football or whatever. Sports are king here at Texas A&M, so I need to stay on top of and know when those things are happening. Okay, the things I have sitting here are the calendar itself. Obviously, I have the dry erase markers that I'm going to need, and then I have my level so that I can draw straight lines. Then you're just gonna go in. The one thing I have learned is I'm gonna write the dates 1 week at a time. I used to write the entire month of dates on there before I put anything else, and then my hand was smudging or was erasing certain dates as I was writing the rest of it. So I'm gonna work top to bottom. When we are doing things as a church, I'm gonna put that on here in purple. So on the 2nd, we are going to be tabling in our lobby, trying to connect with students. And then of course on the 5th, every Wednesday night, we have college service. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm going to write in, I have a softball tournament that I'm announcing on March 1st and 2nd. There's a men's basketball game on the 4th. In purple, I'm writing in community. This is for our community groups on this particular day because we're heading into spring break. Our Thursday night CGs will just have a hangout. I'm going to draw this beautiful line for spring break, put that on there so I know what those dates are. And then I'm just going to systematically work through the rest of the month. I'm going to add in the rest of the dates. I'm going to put in the rest of the events, and I am going to color code based on what it is, when it's happening. Here it is, finished product. All you have to do is take this, stick it to the wall, and you're done. Well, you need to do it 11 more times, but man, this has been a game changer. I hope this encourages you to get on top of 2025, get organized, know what's going on, and maybe like me, if you can see it all at one time, it'll give you a little bit of perspective. Hey, don't just look at the big picture. I also want you to zoom in, think about today, make today count, do something today that's gonna last longer than just this 24 hours. I'll see you next time.